Hello, welcome to Giggles and Gratitude. I'm Dina.
And I am Diana, and I'm so excited to hear from you, Dina, and have all of our listeners today.
Yes, happy Sunday, everyone.
Mhm.
This is our first Giggles and Gratitude episode of September.
Woohoo, I love me some September.
I know why, because your birthday's in September.
I know. And you know what? It's just a number. So embrace it and move on.
Yeah.
Don't let it hang you up.
Yeah. And September in our area of the country is a really nice month because it starts to cool off. But we have had a crazy rainy week. I know a lot of the country has with hailstones and just insanity. Did you get hailstones at your house?
Yes. Well, I was at work, so Dan was home, but our hot tub cover, even though it snapped down, completely blew off, broke the snaps. We have this nice big palm tree, and we had just got it in, and Dan, it's metal,
Yeah.
and he secured it down with the spike things, and it still went flying.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least it didn't go down into the water, go tumbling.
Yeah, that would be bad since we just got it.
I know somebody would score like, Harry, there's a metal palm tree
Palm
floating by the
tree.
house. Let's get it.
Search and find.
Yeah, so we're very lucky. I'm sure some people got damaged and floods, and we're very lucky that was all we had.
Absolutely.
So happy September to everyone. I'm just going to start, Diana, and say I'm very grateful for our listeners, and I know you are too. We are heard in over 30 countries, not just available in over 30 countries, but people actually listen. It could be one person, I don't know, but over 30 countries, including the US, of course. And we just added two. I wanted to share with you. You didn't know this. Okay, the first one is the Republic of Moldova.
Oh, wow. I, I feel special.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, that's why I feel special.
I'm very excited. I mean, no disrespect to the Republic of Moldova, obviously, especially since they listen to us and have discovered us. But it sounds to me like a movie, like you're a princess of Moldova. You know what I mean?
Right? Yes.
It
I'm gonna
sounds
have
like
to
a,
look it up.
yeah. Well, I did read a little bit about it. It's landlocked in Eastern Europe, and the citizens are considered Romanian.
Oh, okay.
And they used to be part of the Soviet Union, but they said, we want to get out of here. We don't want to be a part of this. So when the Soviet Union dissolved, they became independent and they're actually a democracy. And the US recognized them as a country and their independence in December of 1991. So I'm sure they went through a lot of starting a new country is not easy.
Nope, a lot of struggles, but totally worth the sacrifice.
Yeah. So we admire you guys. And then the Republic of Lithuania.
Wow.
I know. Uh,
Welcome, all of you new people. We love this.
Yeah, exotic, interesting people. And it borders Poland and Russia, and it was also occupied by Russia, but in 1990 it gained its independence and is also a democracy with the president. And they speak Lithuanian.
Uh-huh.
And Lithuanian is one of the oldest languages in existence. It has connections back to like ancient Sanskrit. So I thought that was
Wow.
interesting. And now they're listening to
That's
us two goofy girls.
Well, maybe you and I are just as interesting as you and I think we are.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Interesting is a good word.
Yes, you notice what I did with the play on words there.
So that's my gratitude. And I wouldn't say it was a little giggle so much, but a smile. I love hummingbirds, and I've had two hummingbird feeders out since the beginning of summer. And usually I'll see a few every year, like in July. And we have a big picture window we had put in so my mom could watch the birds. We have a bird feeder and a hummingbird feeder actually attached to the window, so we can
Yeah.
watch them. We love to see all kinds of birds. It's really fun. Very messy, but fun. And I hadn't had a single hummingbird all summer. And I thought, well, I'm going to go take it down and clean it out and put it away. And then all of a sudden there was a hummingbird. And I got all excited and I Googled it and they actually said, I'm going to look at this so I get this right.
I love hummingbirds.
Aren't they special?
They are.
It said that September is a big migration month for hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are traveling south to the Gulf of the Yucatan, and the whole eastern United States will have hummingbirds coming through through October, and you should actually put out hummingbird feeders because they're like stopping to fill up their tanks, because they won't be eating for
Well,
a long time.
we're like the gas and go.
Yeah, exactly. He knocked on the window and said, "You got a big gulp?" And I said, "No, sorry, we don't have big gulps. You got a moon pie?" No, I don't think you could fit a moon pie in that little beak, but
But we have a handy dandy little feeder right here for
yeah.
you.
And so they're enjoying it. I've seen one that was really dark and then one that was really light. So I don't know if they're a couple or if it's just different ones coming through, but it's been so fun to watch them. And my little dog will jump up on a bench in the window and look at the birds, not bother him. He's used to them because they've been there since he was a little puppy. But that hummingbird came up and he freaked and jumped off that bench and came running like, "Mama, what is that? What is that?" Because it's too big
Your
for a bug.
friend.
Have you ever had one buzz by your face?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you
It's
think it's like a bee at first or something.
right. And then you're like, oh, it's just a hummingbird.
Yeah, they're so magical. I just love them. So if you have put your hummingbird feeder away and you live in the eastern United States, get it back out. Hurry, get it back out. But then I also, Boo, saw this is on a Facebook post. If you love hummingbirds, let them live like hummingbirds. Every time we hang out one of those plastic sugar feeders, we think we're helping, but in reality, we might be hurting the very creatures we adore. They are not meant to sip from bottles. They're meant to eat flowers. And if you put out fake flowers, which I do, and you feed them sugar, they're not going to pollinate. It stops pollination and it just creates a bigger and bigger cycle and it poisons them like if it's fermented if you leave it out too long. So I don't know what
Mhm.
to believe, but
Oh,
I'm gonna
I
leave
had
mine
not
out.
heard any of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to
Because I
keep it
would,
fresh.
yeah, well, sure. But yeah, the rest of that is interesting. You need to look that up and let me know.
Yeah. So do you have anything you'd like to share about this week? Did you have an eventful week or?
Well, I'm fixing to have an upcoming week. My
Oh,
husband is actually playing. He qualified for the national championship, and it is the U.S. Am Tour, is what it's called. And so I'm super excited and proud for him to play in that. It's actually a 4-day course, and it's just like the PGA, but it's, the amateurs.
yeah. So we're all talking about golf. For anybody who doesn't know, it's not pickleball.
No, not pickleball. No, no.
Well, if you saw Diana's house, the trophy displays, big, big cups, like crystal cups. I've looked at when I've been there. He is not a slouch, and neither is Miss Diana. She's not going to say it. She also serves as caddy, but Dan told me one time, I said, "Oh, it's so cool that Diana's your caddy." He said, "Dina, Diana is better than me at golf. She could whip my butt." So I just do what she says.
I don't know about that, but he still does what I say. The caddy rules,
So what you do is you like see where the ball landed and you say you should use this driver or hit this angle. Is that what you do?
right? Well, there's only one driver in the
Okay.
bag, okay, and then there's irons. Usually people have a set of those, comes, five or so, a putter, a pitching wedge, and then a sand wedge. So there's all kinds of different tools in that bag. And yes, we walk to our ball once he's hit. You always, or okay, I won't get into the weeds, but you mostly use your driver when you first start your ball, when you tee off. And then when you get to your ball, then you've got to figure out what's your yardage you left, kind of what
Wow.
angle are you approaching the green. You got to pay attention to the dangers, just like the sand traps and, stuff like that. So it's fun, it's exciting, and we get to do it together and it keeps us healthy.
Yeah.
Golf is no slouch, like you say. It is, especially this tournament is, 4 days of 18 holes each day. And I will tell you by the end of it, we will be worn out.
Yeah. So you have to
But
walk the course, is that right?
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes.
And carry the bags.
Well, this year, I'm not sure if I'm going to carry the bag. I've had such health issues. I'm going to try, but there are things called like a caddy, oh gosh, caddy cart or a golf cart that is miniature that you push along with you as you're still walking the course.
Hmm.
So it carries the bag, but I have to roll it. And sometimes that's actually harder trying to roll it up a hill.
Sure. Oh my goodness. I admire you so much. So you're grateful that he made it, and then you're also like, oh, I got to gear up for this.
Yeah, yeah, it's no joke.
Will you get to enjoy the sights of Oregon other
I
than the
hope
golf
so.
course? I
Um,
hope so too.
you hope so.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yes.
Well, that's great. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we get into our topic?
Um, no, it's been a pretty busy week trying to get everybody together where they needed to be and then get a little doggy child care.
So
You
when you
know,
know you're going to be gone a while, you've really got to get your patients happy and say,
oh yeah, oh
I
yeah,
won't be here now.
that's right.
You better get it while it's hot.
That's right.
Get that Botox while it's hot. Actually, you're not supposed to let it get hot, right?
No, you are not. You listen well.
Okay. Well, last week on Giggles and Gratitude, if you haven't listened, go back and listen. And if you've never listened before, at the end of every Sunday episode, Diana does Diana's devotions, where she may share scripture, she may share a thought, her feelings about something, and inspiration. It's just whatever speaks to her that week. And last week, she did talk about fear and how, I think it doesn't it say in the Bible, like I've heard 365 times it says, do not fear. Very common saying is faith over fear, that kind of thing. So do not be afraid.
Right?
So then you focused on that, what fear actually is and how to overcome it. But it made me think a different kind of fear is the fear of God.
Hmm.
And people hear that, the fear of God, and Christians might think, and non-Christians hearing the fear of God might think that's confusing. Why would a loving being that I worship, why should I be afraid of him? And when God said, fear not, this is my interpretation. If you see God or Jesus, it's overwhelming. It's
Mm,
fear and awe inspiring. It's not anything you've ever seen in your life before. So that's why God said, fear not, you know. I'm not going to do
mhm.
anything to you. I know I look powerful and scary. He wasn't saying, don't fear me. It's just in this case, fear not is my interpretation. Just your first thought if someone asks you, Diana, why am I supposed to fear somebody that I'm supposed to be so loving? What would you say? Putting you on the spot as usual.
Well, you know, God is omnipotent, He's omnipresent, and He understands, again, our human feelings. And when we first would have an encounter, if you would, um, but fear not to me is just that we are so respectful to Him that a lot of times leaders, when you are completely devoted to them, it is out of fear, but it's out of love that we don't have to fear the Lord. We are his children. And I also feel like don't fear means a lot of things that happen to us during our life's journey.
Okay. Impact Video Ministries, who I talked about, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I'm really into their videos and watching them. And he says, what if, I've heard it explained to me and from a lot of leaders that I watch. Fear is more like awe and respect, like you would fear your parents. If you had good, healthy relationship with your parents, you still have that fear that there are consequences if I screw up.
Right.
Um, I still love them. They love me, but I have a fear. I had a fear of my daddy if I came in late. I was a scared. So,
No doubt.
so that is one explanation. But he says, what if well, he believes, I think his name was Joe in this video, he believes that there is literal fear that people should have for God if he's truly powerful and could squash you like a bug if he wants to. Why wouldn't you fear him? That doesn't mean you don't love him and he doesn't love you, but I think people, my opinion, watered down God and his power to make him more relatable, especially because some people have great anxiety about it and you're trying to get them to understand God and love God and let him in. But people are a little too casual about saying, oh my God, or making jokes about God or saying, Jesus Christ, because you don't have that fear.
Understand.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying? It's a disrespect that
correct.
I mean, I'm even guilty of doing that. Oh my God, that we've talked about that before. But he believes that you should fear God, still love him, but you should fear what he's capable of. Now, you don't love him so you won't get struck down, and you don't do this because you don't want to be struck down. You do it because you love him. But you should be aware and always aware that God is all powerful and something that you cannot comprehend if you saw him. So,
I
go ahead.
just
I'm sorry.
think in the face of fear, there is no fear when there is love.
Okay. This will be
In
one
my
of those
opinion.
topics where we debate, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah. And again, not meaning no fear because we have anxieties, but at the end of the day, we have to, in faith, believe that he's got everything taken care of. And sometimes it's difficult to stay on our path and stay under the hand of his blessing because we are walking in his will. It is when we get off of his will, then that's where we're not out of his love. Like you said, he doesn't stop loving us. However, it opens us up to things that can happen to us because we are outside of his protection, if you
Mhm.
will.
Yeah.
Like you said, consequences to our actions.
Uh-huh. And in this case, this particular month, and I agree with everything you said, the actual fear of God, he says the fear of God is deeper than us having the fear of letting him down. And our thinking on the topic should go further than just that.
Oh yeah, this is a really deep topic.
Yeah. Every Christian should bear in mind when it comes to God. Number one, the fear of God should come from who God is. These are 7 things he thinks that we should remember about the fear of God, and it will help us. The first one is the fear of God should come from who God is. So you think, let's remember that God made everything and made us and
Mhm.
can zap it away in any moment. You can love and respect a tiger. You can think they're beautiful and be around it, but a tiger's going to tiger if it has to, and God will God if he has to. So and this is his opinion, and it's just up for debate. He says that fear should be more than just, wow, God is so great. He's so awesome. Because people say, well, the word fear in the Bible means have awe. But he says, no, the word fear also means fear your God because he's capable of doing whatever he wants at any time. So he says, remember that first. God is all powerful. Number two, the fear of God should be paired with our relationship with God. So you have this healthy fear of him, of the awesomeness he can do.
I think that's a key word. I'm going to interrupt you. Healthy fear. Just like you said with the tiger. Well, I have a healthy fear of a tiger if he is not enclosed in somewhere I'm behind a door.
Right. You know what
So
he's capable of. If
absolutely.
you read the
And
Bible, you know what God's capable of if he gets angry.
that's right. That's why we want to stay in his good graces and his will, just like we did our own dads, because we didn't want to suffer the consequences.
Right. I mean,
We were more afraid of the consequences than we were necessarily of him. And again, the respect for him, I agree with that. The awe of him, it's so overwhelming that it does strike fear in us.
mhm. He says you once you develop that healthy fear of God and you remember, don't poo-poo God, don't make jokes about God, don't hang around people who say disparaging things about God unless you're trying to witness to him. Don't think, well, he loves me, so la-di-da, I can disrespect him. The
Right.
fear of God should be paired with our relationship with God. So I fear you, Lord. I respect you, Lord. I'm in awe of you. I know what you can do. And I want to establish this relationship with you because I feel the love, not just because I'm afraid, but I am afraid. But I feel the love. The love drives me to do what I want. So you have to develop that relationship. Just don't be like, all right, God, I'm scared of you. I'm going to live down here. And I know you can zap me anytime you want. Develop that relationship. That's the second thought about what fear can do for us, fear of God can do for us. Number three is the fear of God should lead us to hate evil, which is kind of what I was talking about.
Right.
You hate to hear someone make jokes about. I mean, it hurts my heart if I read a thing like, what are you talking about? An imaginary guy in the sky again? I hear that a lot and read that a lot. And it hurts my heart when I hear that.
Mm,
And we don't hate the people, but we hate the evil
right, the
that they're
action.
committing.
Hmm.
So it should make you keenly aware, not where you go like, oh, you're sinning, you're going to hell. I don't mean that. I just mean, in your mind, that is not a good act. That is not a good word. That is not a good way to live. And I hate that sin, that evil,
Right.
because, God doesn't like it. So, number four, the fear of God should influence our relationships, which would be hanging around people that are like that, maybe, possibly.
Hmm. Agreed.
I mean, how much would you give, like you're at work and you hear a client you just met say something, kind of a joke about God or, oh Lord, are you one of those? Da, 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 da. How big a rein do you give them? Do you try
Depends
to
on
witness or go ahead? I'm sorry. That's the end of my question. Go ahead.
it depends on the situation. Goodness, I had somebody ask me to pray one time out in the office, and I just had everybody stand up and pray. And I remember we had this on the podcast of one of them
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
the gentleman he did not want to join in. And it
Right.
hurt my heart, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I, because I knew that hurt God's heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's a difficult place, but it is our place to witness when a door is open, when it's appropriate and going to be received in a positive manner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone is screaming and yelling and out of control, I don't think they're going to want to listen to anything I got to say about the Jesus or the devil or the sunny blue sky.
Right. Right.
So you do have to be sensitive to your surroundings, what the relationship is with the person, and then again, what their conversation was.
Right. I agree. So our fear of God should help us determine who we should be spending our time with. And I have cut out people that I loved and enjoyed being around because I don't know, the fourth time of telling me how they feel about Christians and Christianity, I just had to prayed about it and I had to just say, I'm sorry, I can't be around you talking about my God like that. When you know how I feel about him,
Correct.
you know, what are
When
you
you
trying to do? Are you trying to influence me? Or are you trying to hurt me? What are you trying to do?
and when you make that known and then someone continues to do that, they're abusing the relationship, in my opinion, because they know that makes you feel uncomfortable, but yet they still drive forward and do whatever it is that they're doing that's offensive. So yeah, I applaud you for that because
Yeah.
that takes courage to stand up to that.
Yeah, it was hard, and they were like, "Well, that's just typical Christian. You say you love everybody, and then you shun everybody." And I still love you. I still love you, and I'm praying for you, but it is not good for my soul to be spending time with you.
Yeah.
Which brings us to number five. The fear of God should overpower our fear of man. So, because I lost that relationship, and I actually worked for these people sometimes, I lost money. I had got a lot of money, a big part of my income was for them, and I enjoyed so much working with them I mourned over it, I grieved over it, but my fear of God was bigger than my fear of them and them saying, "Well, we'll just fire you, if you don't listen to what we have to say or put up with our what we say every day around you when you're working." So I hope that I did that, but there should be nothing on earth that would you be more afraid of than what God will do or feel based on a decision that you make, in my opinion.
Yeah. My opinion as well.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for those people, whoever they were, that lost you for that reason. And that just tells me those people are not ready to receive any type of encouragement that there's other ways to look at things. You have to have an open mind in order to get past their solid belief.
Right.
And they weren't willing to do that. And again, yeah, you still love them. You'd go do anything for them right now. I know you would if they called you in the middle of the night. That's just who you are.
Well, thank you for thinking that.
Oh, I know that.
So never ever should you make a decision based on, well, I'm afraid they'll that if I say this, or I'm afraid that if I go do this, and I know they don't believe. Don't ever let the fear of man overpower your fear of your creator.
Man,
That don't make no sense. So
no sense.
number six, the fear of God should lead to our safety. So the fear of God will keep you safe if you think,
Correct.
I'm
Isn't that
gonna,
an oxymoron? But absolutely.
yeah, there's reasons why there's guidelines in the whole book to guide your decisions.
Yep.
And that's kind of like you go back to the parent thing. It's like, Dina, let's don't go home. Let's stay out later. Oh no, I
Oh no.
fear I have to be home by midnight because I fear what will happen. And then they go out and get into trouble, and they let me out first. That happened to me more than once. So the fear should be a positive thing that keeps you safe as much
Yes,
as you can be safe in this earth.
that's true.
And then finally, the fear of God should be a lifestyle, not something you have to remind yourself of. If you think of the fear as a healthy, protective, and factual aspect of God, God who created everything, then it will become second nature and practice it as a lifestyle. I'm making this decision based on God, not man, and I have a fear of him. I love him. He loves me, but I'm aware of his awesomeness. So how do you feel about all that? How would you sum that up?
I understand why people have confusion. It confuses people when you talk about the fear of the Lord. Why would we fear him?
There's so much more to this, and I will just include a link to the video because there are scripture to back up everything they say here. And just decide for yourself. Go listen, decide for yourself. But I had always heard, oh, it's just about respect and awe. Awe. That doesn't really mean I'm scared of God. But it changed my mind. It made me see, like, yeah, why shouldn't watch television shows that do skits about God? People will comment, God could strike you down for that, and people laugh. And, we've kind of made it so warm and fuzzy that we forget how powerful he is sometimes.
And thank you for reminding me and all of our viewers today. This was a great, great lesson.
You're very welcome, Diana. And I'm scared of you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm so massive and mean and
Diana is one of those kind of people who is so angelic and sweet and giving and loving, but you only gonna push her so far. She's got self-respect and she's got morals and rules, and which I respect. And so I respect your boundaries and I keep them. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you to our two new countries. And thank you, Diana. I'm going to turn it over to you. I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful trip.
thank you so much, Angel. All right. Today, again, we are going to read from a book called Jesus Calling. Frequently, I use this, and that is by Sarah Young. We are reading page 98 today. In me, you have everything. In me, you are complete. Your capacity to experience me is increasing through my removal of debris and clutter from your heart. As your yearning for me increases, other desires are gradually lessening. Since I am infinite and abundantly accessible to you, desiring me above all else is the best way to live. It is impossible for you to have a need that I cannot meet. After all, I created you and everything that is. The world is still at my beck and call, though it often appears otherwise. Do not be fooled by appearances. Things that are visible are brief and fleeting, while things that are invisible are everlasting. And I think that last statement, that last sentence, is so powerful. So that's actually what I'm going to leave you with today, because I don't have any thoughts that can even compare to what that sentence says to me. It says again, things that are visible are brief and they are fleeting, while things that are invisible are everlasting. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you on Thursday, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.